Welcome back. One of the next steps you might consider taking is allowing students who did not naturally include an introduction and conclusion in their draft to revise to include one. I will focus on only one of the specific introductions and conclusions, like anecdotal for example, so that students get enough practice with it and feel comfortable before they move on to a new one. After you've modeled with the thesis statement, you would just allow your students to practice creating their introductions and conclusions and perhaps generating a conference session so that they could talk about their intros and conclusions with peers to receive feedback. So that is one of the next steps you could take. Now, let's look at students analyzing their essays to determine whether or not they included the specific elements needed for STAAR writing. This next step includes using a tally system like the chart that you see here. Students would identify whether or not they included introduction, thesis statement, support, and conclusion. In addition to saying yes or no they did or did not, they would need to provide specific information that identifies the element that they're being asked if they provide it. This way, students are not blindly going through and randomly saying yes or no. You can be sure that they understand that they've included or excluded information based on what they write in the specific information box. One differentiation you could make is allowing students to do this activity with their peers. Now let's take a look at more next steps. As the teacher, now it's time for you to reflect on what you will do next. First, you'll want to reflect on what you learned about teaching students to write a STAAR essay. You also need to determine what support you believe you'll need from your campus specialist or your department chair, such as materials and resources, or alternate organizational structures, and etc. Think about the following. How many times will your students need to practice working with insider charts and drafting essays? How many opportunities will they need to master introductions and conclusions? How many times will they need to practice using thought glue in their essays? How can you as a teacher support them? When will you assess student mastery? How will you assess student mastery? What will you do if you need to reteach? Those are just a few things to think about. I'd like to thank you for participating in the STAAR EPD, and don't forget to take your quiz to receive credit. Please feel free to contact me at any time with any questions. My information is on the first slide. It's Melanie Burt, mburt@pasadenaisd.org. Thank you and good luck.